Hey guys, it's MK here. Welcome to Tell Talk Thursdays, where I will be discussing fiction roles aka novels by yours truly and sharing them in snippets. Today the fiction tale I am discussing is fantasy crime novel The Link, Matthew's Beginning. I started writing The Link when I was 15 years old. I completed the entire series when I was 18. I pat myself on the back because there are 13 books in this series. Are you ready to dive in? Let's go! Matthew's Beginning is an intriguing submission of original fiction which focuses on the extraordinary life and harrowing exploits of the main character. The middle of three brothers, Matthew shares their disgust and hatred for their stepfather Ben Lucas. Routinely assaulting their mother and showing very little love and support for the family, Ben quickly became a figure of both fear and derision. One particular day, Matthew's elder brother, Joshua, steals money from Ben's wallet and buys a ring. Once he discovers the missing money, Ben threatens violence. Instead of cowering, Matthew takes credit for taking the money and suggests that Ben beat him instead of his mother. Impressed by Matthew's nerves and guts, Ben forms a new respect for the young man. A few days later, he shares a secret possession as well as a cruel ultimatum which makes a significant impression on Matthew and alters his perspective in many ways. From this foundation, a very entertaining tale is constructed. Hey guys, it's MK. I just read you the synopsis of Matthew's Beginning, and you can already tell this is a novel about domestic violence, crime, cruelty in the home, and a little boy called Matthew. Three little boys actually. That he has two brothers, one big brother called Joshua and a little brother called Eric. And Matthew feels that he has to protect his family, so he plots to get rid of Ben. But in the beginning of the book, we're going to see that Ben actually hits Matthew for stealing his chocolate cake, when it was Joshua, but Ben doesn't know that and blames Matthew and basically gives him a hit so powerful he is knocked out. Matthew wakes up in the hospital and he sees police there because he's a child that's taken to hospital unconscious, and the police want to know what's going on. But of course Matthew's going to lie and say he fell or something like he tripped or any lie that their mum told them to tell, because their mum Darla, she's scared of Ben. She doesn't want anything to happen to her children, but she also is not seeking help. She's letting Ben do this and get away with it all the time. Moving on to the actual beginning of the story, Matthew's in his bedroom and Joshua knocks on his door because he wants Matthew to see something. And you might note that Matthew has his own bedroom, but Eric and Joshua have to share a room. This is because the house belongs to Matthew's father, and Matthew's father left the house to Darla to look after his son, but the house will become Matthew's when he's 16. And Darla protects her son, like she knows Matthew's dad is rich, and Eric and Joshua don't have the same dad as Matthew, and the brothers can't get the luxuries that Matthew gets. Matthew's got his own room, he's got a computer, he's got a massive bed, and the boys got to share a bunk bed in another room. And the boys do have a little bit of resent Matthew a little bit about that, but it's Matthew's dad's house and they can't do anything about it. So Joshua goes into Matthew's room and shows him a ring, and Matthew says, "Where did you get that ring?" He stole the money from Ben's wallet and bought himself a ring. And then Matthew starts to panic. You gotta get the money back, go refund it, because Ben's gonna come and beat up mum again. And Joshua's just like, nah, he ain't gonna do nothing, he can't do nothing. And then they go to their grandparents' house, and their grandparents are really concerned. They say, "Darla, well, how did you get that bruise?" And Dolla's just lying and saying, "Oh, I just tripped and fell down the stairs. It's nothing, no big deal, haha." And the boys are like giving her dirty looks because they know that is a lie and something's going on there, but they can't say anything to their grandparents. These are Darla's parents. So Matthew's feeling conflicted. He really wants to tell his granddad, especially what's going on, because he knows that granddad will get him out of there. He's grandma and granddad's favorite boy, and he knows that if he tells them the truth that their daughter's being abused, they will get the police involved. But Matthew's too scared about that, and so are the boys. So this is where they find out the ring on Joshua's finger, and grandma says, "Oh, Joshua, where did you get that?" And Joshua's like, found it, I found some money, so I bought it. And then Darla looks at him like, you did not just take that from Ben's wallet. I know that you did not just steal it from Ben's wallet. And then Joshua, from the look his mum gives him, and we all know how the look when we get the look from our parents, so he knows he's in trouble. And then he's like, oh well, like I can always like refund it, can't I, sort of thing. And Dara doesn't even answer him. Like she knows what's gonna come. Like Ben's gonna attack all of them. Yeah. So they go home and things are a little bit messy. Darla gets, it happens again. Matthew feels helpless, like he can't do anything. And but this time he steps up and says, you know what? Why don't you beat me instead of beating my mum? And Ben's like, sorry, what? He's like, yeah, you beat me instead of my mum. This is Matthew. Like he's young, but he's strong. He's a strong little boy. He's not like his brothers. Matthew's a little G. Like he doesn't care. He's like, you can beat me. Stop beating my mum. Beat me instead. And then that's when Ben looks at him in a different light. It's like, oh my god, so this kid is strong. I think I could use this kid. I'm not sure. Can I use this kid? So Ben's there thinking in his head, but Matthew's thinking in his head as well. Like I've got to get rid of this guy. So yeah, roll on to the next section. So Ben is really impressed and he says, Darla, I'm taking your son out. And then Darla's like, what? Where are you taking my son? What for? And Ben says, don't ask questions because I'm starting to like your middle son. He's grown on me. I'll take him out with me when I can, probably in the week. Is that okay, Matthew? And Matthew's like, what? Like he's not used to Ben being nice. Like he's probably gonna beat him up in private or something, right? So Ben's like, okay, I thought you weren't scared of anybody. So Matthew says, I am not scared of anyone. And he says, well, I can't believe that. I'll let you come with me. All right. Matthew says, all right. You try and hit me, I'll shoot you. And then Ben says, okay, I look forward to seeing that. And then Darla's bruised and she's really hurting, so Matthew ran her a bath and he has to help him up the stairs and he's just feeling so helpless. And Eric's watching the TV, Joshua's playing outside, and Matthew says, Mom, you need to call the police and tell him what he's doing. And Darla's like, oh, don't, Matthew, we've been through this hundreds of times. It's like, but Mom, what if he hits you in the head too hard? You get brain damage, you could die. Like, she's like, enough, Matthew, the bath will ease the bruises. Yeah, but you're going to get fresh bruises anyway, so there's no point in soaking the old ones. Matthew, you're too young to understand. You're only 10. I might be 10, but I'm way grown up. Yeah? And I know when a man hits a woman, he should get locked up for it. Especially if the woman is the mother of his child. And she don't even have to be, and she don't even have to be that, Matthew says. It's wrong to hurt women. Full stop. And then Dara's like, oh, I love him, Matthew, and he loves me. So Matthew said, what kind of love from a man with black your eyes? What kind of love from a man makes you cry all the time? Whatever you think this is not love. I know it isn't. And then Dara's like, okay, you're 10 years old. Like, where did you get that from? And then Matthew says, I'm going out for fresh air, maybe to runs. And she's like, okay, Matthew, wait. And Matthew's like, just get your bath, Mum. Okay? Like, and then he's lying down and saying, how thick is my mum gonna get? Talking about love. If this is what love is, then to hell with it. I'm never gonna love anyone. I thought it was a regular black snake until it started talking to me. Yes, you saw from that little snippet, that little book premiere of Matthew's beginning, that a talking black snake enters his life and does not leave him alone from then. The snake follows him, it's on his bed sometimes and it vanishes into thin air. So yes, this is not just a crime novel, it's actually a fantasy and crime novel, and a lot of magical things start happening to Matthew as he gets older and older. Further along into the book, Matthew meets this very special and beautiful young girl, his age, a year younger to be exact, and when he sees her, he's smitten. He's immediately like, I love this girl. I can't keep away from her. I have to see her all the time. Now she's not like putting him under a spell, but his young heart is in love. Like he loves her and he wants to marry her one day. He doesn't care that he's young and he's like 13 and she's 12. He's got a lot of demons from his past, all the stuff that he's done, and he can talk to her about anything. She doesn't judge him. She loves him as well, and they become boyfriend and girlfriend for some time, and things go good for a while until Ben comes back from the past and notices the pretty young girl Matthew's taking a shine to. So then he threatens Matthew. He says, like, if listen, you go near this girl again, she's grass. So then Matthew has to tell a lie and say he's going away forever, and kind of breaks her heart. Matthew doesn't realize it, but this girl, she loves him too, and she will do anything for him, just like he will do anything for her. So it's like Ben is just trying to take away Matthew's happiness, and whoever Matthew loves the most, or whoever he's close to, Ben will take them out. So he lies to the girl, saying that he's protecting her, and it's true, he is protecting her because Ben did threaten her life. So he goes away and he comes back a few years later and he's stunned at how beautiful she is at 16 years old and Matthew's 17, and he can't keep away from her. So he sneaks down to her town to watch her, and he just falls more and more in love. And then he gets the shock of his life when she's with her daughter and her daughter asks for a drink and her mum pulls the drink out of thin air. Matthew's ex-girlfriend pulled a drink out of thin air, and Matthew is stunned like, this girl can do magic. She can do magic. So yeah, he gets the shock of his life and he runs to tell his friends, but his friends are not really surprised. They're like, well, we live in a small area, rumors fly, and we've heard about some stuff that she's done. Like, we're not surprised, we knew she could do magic. And then strange things start happening and Matthew thinks he's going crazy, like he has to see her again. So he sneaks up on her when she's 16, but she's stronger than she used to be, and she can tell someone's watching her. Even though Matthew's hidden in the dark, she can see him. She's got cat powers. So she says, who's there? And he comes out, he says, it's me. And she is so shocked, but she kind of has some kind of x-ray vision because she scans his whole body from head to toe. She looks at him up and down, and then she sees a gun, and she's like, what the actual hell, why do you have a gun? But she's got her daughter with her, so she says, Matthew moves closer, she says, stay where you are. Like, don't come near me, don't come near my child with that gun. And then she takes her child and she vanishes on the spot. She's gone. She left him. And Matthew is so upset by this that he doesn't know what to do himself, and he can't keep away from her though. He just can't. And then he surprises her again, but this time in her bedroom. And she wakes up and sees him there. Ha! And you know where it goes from there. Matthew, no! The echo of that gunshot that ended the life of my big brother still haunts me years later. I tried to put it behind me, move on, but nothing anyone said or did could change what I had done. My mind was always on fire. I wish it would go away. Hoped I'd never find happiness. I didn't deserve to be happy, not after everything. My family was broken and it was all my fault. But I did find happiness. I found love, light, hope, and a bit of an obsession. It was her, Colette Latoya Gibson. I loved her more than anything, even after finding out she was no ordinary girl. She was far from it. She could do magic, and I didn't care. I was deeply in love with her. I promised myself I would marry her one day. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Links to Matthew's Beginning will be provided below. Also pages 1 to 25 if you fancy reading. If you got this far, thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.